Hello, everyone. I know it's not our regular scheduled time, but I popped in earlier and just made a couple comments. Um, we do have a guest coming tonight. Um, he's going to be here, he said, give him about 30 minutes, but I decided to go ahead and go live real quick and give everybody an opportunity to hop on and tune in and please tag and share. You know how sometimes you just can't plan life, sometimes you just can't plan it. I told him I'll be waiting. Um, but I can, sorry about that. I'm sitting here talking. Somebody once you hop on, please tag and share, make a comment, let me know that you're watching and where you are watching from.
Hey yo, if you single then say yourself for the right one. That's right. Believe it, a woman in white. If you believe in love, you walk in it. When you walk in it, then it's authentic. When it's authentic, you can stand in it. When you stand in it, you don't fall in it. This single safe and dating. Yeah. Real love by embracing. Yeah. I ain't never gonna fake. Never. It's in my heart, I don't chase it. Never. This single safe and dating. Yeah. You gonna learn about patience. Yeah. Stay in tune while you're waiting. Yeah. This single safe and dating. Real love by embracing. It's the highest elevation. Stay in tune while you wait. Single save and dating. This single save and dating. Yeah. This single save and dating. Real love, I embrace it. That's the highest elevation. Stay in tune while you're waiting. This single save and dating.
Hello, everyone. I know this is not our scheduled time, but I want to say thank you guys, community, for your love and support of this here ministry. Our guest will be with us tonight, so just let's just calm down. He will be with us tonight. But once you hop on, go ahead, tag and share, make a comment. Let me know that you're watching and where you are watching from. You know what we say here at Single Saved and Dating. It takes two to make a thing go right, just like it takes two to make a thing go wrong. So if we're going to get this thing right, we have to put down the pointing of the finger. And that's what we're going to do tonight, okay? That's what we're going to do this evening. Like, I already know how I am. Woo, help us, Lord. Anyway, so guys, once you hop on, please tag and share, make a comment. Let me know that you're watching and where you are watching from. We're going to be discussing tonight how to move from the dating phase. How to move. Who I want to know? Who have been some perpetual daters in here? Don't be ashamed. Make a comment. Let us know who you are. We're not shaming anybody. No judgment. No judgment. No judgment. But you would like to get off that Ferris wheel. But you would like to get off that Ferris wheel. Who all have been dating and it looks like it might possibly make it to the finish line, which we call marriage. We call it the finish line. And all of a sudden, voila. Nope, nope, falls apart. That's what this discussion is going to be about this evening. Our guest will be on with us shortly. But once you hop on, please tag and share, make a comment, let me know that you're watching and where you are watching from.
Hey yo, if you single then say yourself for the right one. That's right. Believe it, a woman in white. If you believe in love, you walk in it. When you walk in it, then it's authentic. When it's authentic, you can stand in it. When you stand in it, you don't fall in it. This single save and date. Yeah. Real love, I embrace it. Yeah. I ain't never gonna fake. Never. It's in my heart, I don't chase it. Never. This single save and date. Yeah. You gonna learn about patience. Yeah. Stay in tune while you wait. Yeah. This single save and date. Real love, I embrace it. That's the highest elevation. Stay in tune while you wait. Single save and day. This single save and day. Yeah. This single save and day. Real love, I embrace it. That's the highest elevation. Stay in tune while you wait. This single save and day.
Hello, hello, single saved and dating. Hello, Mike. Thank you for hopping on. Thank you for tuning in. Hello, hello, single saved and dating. You know what we say here at Single Saved Today? It takes two to make a thing go right, just like it takes two to make a thing go wrong. So if we're going to get this thing right, we have to, we must, we shall put down the pointing of the finger. It's not about what we did yesterday, 2 days ago, 5 years ago. It's about what we're going to do moving forward, right? Right, absolutely. It's about what we're going to do moving forward. And we're going to move forward here at Single Safe Today to know we are not stuck in the cycle here at Single Safe and Dating. We are breaking the cycle. We break every generational curse. We break every hindrance. Yes, right here. This is what we're about here at Single Saved and Dating. Yes, we are. So once you hop on, go ahead. Please tag and share. Make a comment. Let me know that you're watching and where you are watching from. I love seeing you guys. Thank you for hopping on. Thank you for community for supporting this ministry. For without you, there is no single savior. There is no single savior.
It's a Big Mac production.
Hey, yo, if you single, then save yourself for the right one. That's right. Believe in a woman that might come. If you believe in love, you walk in it. When you walk in it, then it's authentic. When it's authentic, you can stand in it. When you stand in it, you don't fall in it. This single save and date. Yeah. Real love, I embrace it. Yeah. I ain't never gonna fake. Never. It's in my heart, I don't chase it. Never. This single save and date. Yeah. You gonna learn about patience. Yeah. Stay in tune while you wait. Yeah. This single save and date. Real love, I embrace it. That's the highest elevation. Stay in tune while you wait. Single save and day. This single save and day. Yeah. This single save and day. Real love, I embrace it. That's the highest elevation. Stay in tune while you're waiting. This single save and day.
Hello, hello, single saves and dating. How are you doing? Once you hop on, go ahead and tag and share, make a comment. Let me know that you're watching and where you are watching from. I know we're not at our regular scheduled program time, but I want to say thank you for being so graciously accommodating this evening. Um, my granddaughter is turning 17, and so we having she's like I had totally forgot y'all. Grandma forgot. And she was like, Nana, you coming to you coming to my birthday dinner, right? I said, yeah, when is it? She said Saturday. I said Saturday. Bless my little heart. So I asked our guest, did he mind moving it the time up, and he was so graciously to say he did not mind. But things come up in life. He's gonna tune in with us here in just a minute. But tonight's discussion is about moving past the dating phase. Moving past the dating phase. I like to ask those that is a little more seasoned. I'm gonna say seasoned. I'm gonna say seasoned. Yeah, I like seasoned. I'm gonna ask those who are a little more seasoned their thoughts about moving past the dating phase. How has that been for you guys? Or is it more challenging? I think it's more challenging once you begin to, and I'm not the only one. I want to share the screen just a few minutes. I think I always tell my sisters that are younger than myself, if you like to get married, then really think about that. If this is something you really want to do, as well as, we always talk about getting prepared and being prepared here at Single Saved and Dating, and doing our work and doing our due diligence in being prepared to be a wife or to be a husband. um, I always tell them, if this is something that that you really want in your life, or you really want to happen, then while you're dating, you want to keep that in mind. Meaning, um, do you really want to be a perpetual dater, or do you want to be intentional with your dating? Meaning, you're not going to date someone who does not have a desire to be married. You're not going to date someone who doesn't have a desire to be married. You're going to want to date those who are on the same length or the same page that you are on, in, I guess, in your desires or your aspirations for life, for the lack of better words. You want to date someone along those lines that you are on. Um, One of the things I would say in being older is, one of the things that I think I did that I would tell young men and women not to do. If that's you, you want to be married, then date with that. Be intentional with your dating, well, and with that dating process. And dating is really just not, it's not marriage for the ladies. Going on a date does not mean you're married or you're a couple. You're not a couple to a person officially say we are. Okay, let's take this to dating. Is I see it as a vetting process. Is this somebody that I would like to see if I have a future with? Um, and then we move to that next phase. But a lot of time, I think when we're dating, I know I'm guilty of this. We don't do it like that. Like, okay, we're seeing, this is just a date. We're just going out and, I guess, having a meal, or seeing how things will go, if this would be a good match. But I don't think we date like that. I know I didn't. I didn't know nothing about that coming up. You just met somebody, they like you, you like them, bam, y'all went together. That's how it went when I was coming up. They like you, you like them. Hey, y'all together. And so we have to retrain our brain that we don't meet somebody and bam, we're together and we're a couple and all this types of things, because we really don't know. Hello, Elaine. Thank you for hopping on, love. Thank you for tuning in. Um, we When I look at this, I was like, when I did operate like that, I didn't really know those people and they didn't really know me. And here we are talking about we're a couple, and then you want to know why it didn't work out. And so we have to retrain our brain when we're thinking about dating, and when it comes to dating someone and the dating process. At the time, I didn't even know there was a process. I didn't know there was a process to dating. I thought you just meet somebody. I like you like me. We together. We together now. And I think one of the things that may be happening in the dating process is that we move too fast. We move too fast. And bam, we're together and we're a couple. And you moving in, which we don't supposed to do this as believers, but I wasn't a believer then. And it does happen. You moving in with me, and I'm moving in with you, and all this cohabitation thing, and you just went from date, just met this person, to this person living with you, and you don't know them and they don't know you, and it's just let's just, how does someone go, slow down, because I just want to get to know you. Slow it down a little bit. We need to slow that, and know that it is a process, and begin to slow that thing down and know that this is dating has a process. I think that's the number one thing that I wish somebody had told me when I was younger. Like, this is a process, Renee. You don't just meet somebody, bam, y'all together. Y'all go together. um, and I would say to someone who's dating a younger as well, I would say, hello, love. Thank you for hopping on. Thank you for tuning in. Oh, I love her. I love this sister to life. This sister is a prayer warrior. I follow her. Y'all need to go follow her. If you want to become mature in the things of God in Christ, follow that sister. I'm gonna leave her name up there. I sent you to my friend too. I said, hey, you need to follow this sister. This sister is amazing. I love her. I love her ministry. I love her spirit and the way she do things. But anyway, back to what I was saying. Um, that's another thing that if I had to look back and give my younger self, I guess, some advice. Um, At 48, I need a fast process. Oh, God can put you on the fast track, sister. um, what I said, I was talking to my younger self. I think I would say, slow down because don't move so fast. Know that dating has a process and let that thing go through that natural process. Don't try to push it. Don't try to force it. Don't try to make it happen. If it ain't happening, baby, let it not happen. Don't try to force it happen. And I think that's another one of the things. And I really realized this about myself this week with losing my spiritual mom. Y'all pray for me. I'm trying to hold it together tonight. Um, I realized when losing my spiritual mom last week that I'm a fixer and I like to try to fix things. And people too. I was like, Lord, okay, Lord, help me with this. And if a person tell me like they got a problem, um, fast track me, Jesus. And if a person, I mean, while I would tell my younger self too, or younger people, while you are single, really get to know yourself so that when you begin the dating process, you know these things about yourself and you can be aware of them and you'll be aware of them when they begin to kick in and happen. I'm gonna give an example. I was dating this person and I didn't know this about myself till my mom passed away. I know now I'm a fixer, and if a person brings me a problem, my brain, I can't help it. It kicks into gear like fixer mode. Voila. Let's see. Go through the files. Let's see what we can come up with that the answer is. And so I learned that about myself, and it actually backfired me on me recently in a relationship with somebody. It backfired on. And God let me know, sister, you was about to start trying to fix this for that person. And you don't have the power to fix that for that person. And so it backfired on you. And you just take it like it is. You just take it like it is, sister. And so because God was like, you're not responsible for that. And so I realized that about myself. I had already begun to realize like I will begin to push things. If you see things not working, the thing not to do is try to force it and push it and make it work anyway. I would say that to my younger self and to younger people. That's a huge mistake. Huge mistake. Huge mistake. Know that the dating is a process, and let that thing go through that natural. Let every season, let every step. And a lot of times we want to skip steps. Like my sister said, I want the fast track back, baby. And I think when we can be on a fast track, it depends on where that person is. Because when my spiritual mom passed, a lady began to share with us like how she met my spiritual mom and how my spiritual mom moved in her life and changed her life. She said, at one point, our spiritual mom told her, "Now it's time for you to take somebody," and it got her on the fast track. But the person that she was on that, she didn't even know who the person was at the time. Was my spiritual mom told her that. But when it started to unveil itself, that man was prepared. He was ready to be married, and now they've been married for 40 something years. She said they never even went on a date. She said he came to her and said, "Will you marry me?" And she said, "Yeah." Because Sister Sherry had my spiritual mom had told her uh, that she would be married. That she would be married. So she was ready and she was prepared. And the man, he was ready and he was prepared. And they've been married for 40 years. So it's possible to be on the fast track. But most of the time, most people ain't putting that work to know themselves, to know where they are, to know their triggers, to know, now that I know this about myself, I know I ain't gonna go in there trying to fix nothing. You can and you can't fix something that a person don't want to fix. First of all, you can't fix something that a person don't want to fix. And you can support, you can love, you can accept. That's what God told me, but you can't fix it. And so those are some things that I would say to younger people and to my younger self. Um, know yourself, know your triggers, know these things, so when they start to show up when you're dating, you will be aware of them and not allow them to play out in that relationship. I think that may be some of the reasons too why some of our relationships are not making it to the marriage stage, or should I say a pat, because I've been engaged. Lord, I've been engaged. Lord, your girl done been engaged, okay? Your girl done been engaged. So making it past that phase, um, really knowing yourself and knowing where you are and knowing those things that trigger, I think that will help out a lot. That helps out a lot. Um, I would also say to my younger self and to younger people, I would definitely say to them, um, don't allow someone, first of all, don't, if you know you want to be married, don't waste your time. Time is precious, baby. I know when you're younger you feel like, man, I got all the time in the world, honey. I can play the field, I can do this, I can do that. Well, we shouldn't be thinking like that as believers, but at that time I wasn't no believer. But I can put it off. I got all this time and this and that. I got time to waste. I got time to kill. No, make the most of your time. Make the most of your time. And I think the best way to make the most of your time as a single person is getting to know yourself, getting to know the Lord, and really getting rooted. I would say this after hearing everything that everybody's shared about my spiritual mom. I would say and Denisha, you say this all the time as well. Get rooted and grounded in love. Let me say that again. I will spend, if I had to do it over again, I would spend my time getting rooted and grounded in love. Because when that scripture says love is the greatest, baby, it is. I'm not lying. And I'm not talking about like that romantic love. I'm talking about that love that you need to get rooted and grounded in. That's going to keep that marriage. That's going to keep, because most people that I know that are married, they love their marriage. They love being married. But they'll tell you marriage, marriage is work, man. Marriage ain't for the wimpy. Marriage ain't, what I'm learning too from working with couples as well. Look, marriage ain't for the selfish. That's what marriage ain't for. Marriage ain't for the selfish. Some of us is single because we single. Some of us is single because we need to be single, baby. We need to stay single. Because selfishness just don't work in marriage. Selfishness doesn't work in marriage at all. Um, I know people are married. I work with people who are married, and they tell me all the time that if you're a type of person who can't forgive somebody, don't know what forgiveness is, can't walk in forgive, you better stay single. You better stay single. You better be saying, I'm living a single. You better enjoy that single life, baby. Because marriage ain't gonna be for you. If you type of person you can't forgive, you hold grudges, you don't know, you can't let stuff go quickly, and you petty. I know I deal with some married people. I work with married people. And they say, "Man, I'm petty. I'm petty is everything. I'm petty," and that just draw things on and out and out and on. You type of person, I mean, you petty. I mean, you might want to think about not getting married. You might want to just go on and say, "Single ladies, clap your hands." Enjoy your singleness, baby, because you're gonna be happier that way than you is with somebody. Um, so I would spend my single time being rooted and grounded in love and learning everything that I can about love and the facets of love. Because as I was listening to people share about about my grandmother, about my spiritual mom, I hear a lot of ministers say, "Well, don't chase after nobody, don't run after nobody, don't do this, haters." And I hear ministers say things like that, but I have to look at my relationship with my spiritual mom, and then I heard all the things that other people were saying about her. It was like a repeating thing, how she pursued after us. Oh my God. Y'all don't want to talk. How she pursued. And then I got lit and I was like, man, yeah, because she really came up. There was a lot of people that tried to come and evangelize me, but they didn't they didn't walk it out like she did. She helped me get to where I needed to be, and it was a lot of work on her part. Let's just put it like that. So love pursues after a person and is willing to put in that work. And God told me this as well, that it is not selfish, and that it is um
So, talk to the. Oh, hey, I'm sorry. I was wondering, could you hear me?
I just realized you came up.
I've been
I'm
on for a while. I've been going out, coming back in, wondering, could you hear
I just happened to look up and see that this thing got a two up there.
me? You've been preaching. I've been amen you in the back.
Okay, I'm sorry, but I'm gonna say this, and then I'm gonna turn it over, and I'm gonna let our guest introduce himself. And if you guys have any questions for him, we're talking about moving past the dating phase. But I'm gonna say this: I saw with my spiritual mom, everybody kept saying it. And I think the relationship that I had with her as well. God spoke to me and He said, "Love, Renee, love is not selfish, and even when it's rejected, it don't come back and talk about how you rejected it. It don't talk about the hurt, like how you hurt it." Because my mom, my spiritual mom, there was time that we rejected her love. And she never said anything to us like, "Oh, you hurt me. I really wanted you to." I mean, she never, I mean, so, but we're going to turn it over to our brother. He is here. Thank you. And he's in the building. Yeah, we're going to let him introduce himself. And y'all got any questions, y'all better bring them on. Let's bring it to the brother. Go ahead. You take it.
How is everyone doing? I am Adrian Poe. I don't know. What do you want me to introduce? I got a lot going on. I do a lot of little things here and there. um, some of you remember me from last time. I consider myself a very down to earth, logical, unorthodox thinking,
Yeah, he is.
philosophizing minister. We'll leave it there. I specialize in a lot of little areas, life coaching, relationship, God, business, just a lot of things, really. I have a knack and a gift for bringing light to really almost anything that I'm presented with. So I look forward to questions and interviews just to see and be able to give different perspectives on particular matters. So I'm very excited, and I thank you for always reaching out to include me into these conversations, because I feel like the perception that I have and the perception that you present will be very beneficial to the world. If not now, then definitely later, when people realize that, oh snap, I should have been listening to this. So anything that I say or do, or anything that people like you say or do, is very vital, because it doesn't have an expiration date. So whether it's now or 3 years from now, this information will get out and get into the ears of those who need to hear it. So I thank you for just giving me this opportunity to once again put information out there to people.
I love you, brother. I follow you. I love your content. I love the way you present it. I feel like it really appeals to the younger generation and a lot of things that you show and how you show your flesh and the spirit. I love that one. I
Those are my
love that
favorite.
one.
I
Those are
listen.
my
I
favorites.
wish
Those
I
are
want to
my
get to the point to where I can do that full time. Like I want a TV show with them on it. I want that to become one of the biggest attractions this world has ever seen, because I genuinely feel like if everyone in the world understood that those videos is what every last one of us battle every single second of every single day, it'll bring more light and control to everything you do in every facet of life.
yes.
So I really put a lot of imagery, subliminal messages, and a lot of stuff into those videos. I love doing those videos, because I don't think people realize watching those videos is literally you and me, and it's them and it's us every day. That battle that you fight internally, that's them. That
Hmm.
is them every day.
I
So
love
yeah,
them.
that's my favorite.
Yo, those are my favorite too, brother. I'm asking for myself this evening, and all those are listening. Y'all guys, give us the questions. Send the questions up. Put them up. I'm gonna ask them to our brother if you got any. I I don't know if I'm gonna put it like this. You can get stuck in a perpetual dating phase, and all you do is date and date and date and date. Um, I want you to speak to that, and then this. A lot of times, not just myself, it has happened to me as well, and I know it's happened to some other people that I've talked to. You're dating, you get engaged, and it's going in that direction, but it never. It's once again, it fall apart. You don't. So I want you. What are your thoughts on that perpetual dating, and then you get and you're engaged, but you can't move past being engaged. It always fall apart at that engagement stage. And we're gonna turn it over to you. It's your turn.
All right, so I have two things, and this is something that I strongly teach and believe in now. So let's discuss perpetual dating. One of the greatest revelations I had in regards to dating, period, is since you want to date and you're so strong about it, at least use that as a metric for self development. And
Mm,
I'll give you an example of what I mean by that.
okay.
Say we started dating, right? And we know that the butterfly phase is the most high dopamine spiked phase of the dating world, right? Them first 3 to 6 months, I see no wrong in you, you see no wrong in me, we lovey dovey, we going out. That is the peak of the dating, right? Because scientifically speaking, that's the heightened levels of dopamine, serotonin, and all your body, blah, 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 right?
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Use that to your advantage. And what I mean by that is this. Say I meet a girl, if I want, I'm very happily married, but we're just running through a scenario.
Yeah.
Say I meet a girl, right? In my matured understanding now, this is how I would date, and this is how anybody should date. I meet a girl and we spend 6 hours on the phone. You know, we talk, we fall asleep on the phone, we texting all day, right? Those same 6 hours should be used as a metric of self-development time as well. So
Mm,
if I spend 6 hours texting or entertaining you that day, I'm not talking to you again until I put that same 6 hours into me.
mm,
Because what happens is, it's kind of like a prenup, right? If something goes wrong and this don't work out, guess what I gained?
Come on
equal
with it.
grounds by which I've spent time with you. But if I spend 6 hours on Monday, 6 hours on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday for 6 months, that is thousands of hours of
Mm.
time into you, and then boom, oh, this ain't for me. I can never get that back.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
There's nothing that I can do to get that time back. Now I'm mad. Now I'm
Mm.
finna bust the windows out your car. Now Jasmine Sullivan got a new hit. You see what I'm saying? But if I realize, you know what? I appreciate you, even though we didn't work, because I
Mm.
got thousands of hours of
I love that.
developmental time that I used in the midst of dealing with you that I measured myself by.
Mm.
So what I got from you was a proper metric while my dopamine and serotonin was high to cultivate this relationship. I cultivated myself too. I didn't
Mm.
lose anything.
Oh
If
wow.
anything, you lost something because
Oh
now I
wow.
got you lost a person that has spent thousands of hours in developing themselves,
Mm-hmm.
and you just walked away from that.
Oh
I
wow.
didn't lose anything, you did.
Mm.
But what we do is we put all of that time, that non-renewable resource that you talked about how valuable it was before I came on, and now you can't get that back, and now you mad.
Mm-hmm.
You really not mad with them, you mad with yourself because you didn't use your
Oh.
time wisely. And if you
Oh.
say, well, I don't have 6 hours to spend with myself and them, well, guess what? You may want to break that down to three then. Spend three with them and three to yourself. Well, I ain't finna do all that. Oh, you're saying other people is more important than you.
Oh,
Well, you
come
don't
on
need to
with
be with
it.
nobody anyway. You see
Oh
how we can
oh.
loop this around easily?
Oh my God.
So it's not
That's so good.
perpetual dating. It's you really don't care enough about yourself to put that much time into yourself because
Oh
I
my
can't
God.
lose if I realize I gave you 3 hours Monday.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, sweetheart, I'm finna spend 3 hours with myself. What you mean you finna? Whoa, whoa, whoa. Hold on. So you was cool with me falling asleep on this phone, talking all day with you. But when I say I'm finna give that same time to me, we got a problem. You ain't the one then. You see, you can easily weed out
Mm.
people, time, and resources, but we don't do that. We keep giving people so much more, which bleeds over into the next phase of, oh,
Mm.
I've been engaged. I keep getting engaged, but I can't move to the next phase.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the reason you can't move to the next phase because you ain't handle business in that phase anyway.
Ah!
You see what I'm
I love
saying?
it. Come
You
on
didn't
with it.
have no business in that phase. You went from first grade to fourth grade. Now you're trying to figure out why you can't divide. Baby, you skipped second and third grade.
That's why I said we be skippers.
This test ain't gonna never make sense.
Okay.
Oh, I don't know why. I just can't. Well, you didn't learn to divide. You skipped lessons. So put that test down. Go back to first grade. You skipped a
Oh
couple
Lord Jesus.
lessons.
Oh, let me say something to what he's saying. When I work with couples, he hitting it dead on the head. When you don't put that work in yourself,
You skipped
you are
classes.
not prepared to be in a relationship.
Oh,
I I
why I
I
didn't get my diploma?
I I
You
I,
ain't
I
been to
want
school.
I
You
want to
think?
say the brother is right because a lot of times when it do for myself, I'm gonna speak about myself. When it did fall apart, it was because that person he hit it on the head. He wasn't secure in himself,
Like, what are you
so he wasn't
saying?
able to go. But anyway, I think you got a question. Let's ask the question. Let's see. Let's see. I think somebody got. What do you suggest needing new people? I feel as though just the way waiting old school for me to approach you is not working in this day and hour. What do you suggest if you already could be found and you are ready to pursue dating? But if you don't know, let me go look because it's cut some off. If you don't, let's see, where am I? But if you don't, but let's see, and you already ready to pursue dating, but if you don't know no one, you don't know no one to date.
Okay, so here's the thing. It's so much in that. So let's take it
Okay,
from the
let's
top.
break it down. First of all, she said, "What do you suggest needing new people or meeting new
Meeting
people?"
new people.
I
Okay, so
feel as
so
though it is the she's saying the old school way ain't working in this hour, brother.
so here's the thing. I'm not trying to be funny. If you was finna wash some dishes and you only ran water in that sink, and you sitting there with that plate in your hand, with that water, just saying, "Hey, this ain't working. What I'm supposed to do now?" How long are you gonna sit there and rub that plate? How long are you gonna sit there and rub that plate? So when you have to verbally say this ain't working, you should only have to say that one time. Because the next train of thought should be, okay, what other options do I have? Right?
Mm.
But I feel like we get into a cycle of just stating the problem instead of throwing out our options. So if you say, well, hey, this ain't working, the old school ways ain't working, okay, well, what are your new options? We have social media, we have social events, we have social gatherings, we have unlimited supply of technology. And people say, well, I ain't gonna do all that. Hold it. Now you just said the ways wasn't working. Now when I'm giving you options, you don't want to do it. Well, baby, what are
Brother,
we
I'm gonna
talking
tell
about
you
at this
right
point?
now. I'm gonna tell you right now, brother. I'm gonna tell you, I ain't finna do all that.
And well, listen. That's cool, but be prepared to be alone.
Baby, I am. I mean,
And no. I'm not
I'm
talking
cool.
specifically to you.
Yeah, I know.
Anybody with the mindset of,
Like,
hey,
man, I
this
ain't
ain't
doing all that.
working, but I'm not finna do all that. Cool, we can have another conversation. We ain't gotta talk about it now. Cause the option that I'm giving, you not trying to hit at.
That's true.
And there's only two reasons to ask a question, right? Either to give an answer or receive an answer. Those are the only two principles behind a question. What happens mostly is, though, when people ask the question to give an answer, when that answer is given, they then turn it to try to give me an answer. Baby, I didn't ask you nothing. So I'm not finna go back and forth with you about a question you asked me because you're trying to give me an answer I never asked for. So if you ask me, hey, what do you say about the dating pool? The old school ways ain't working. Cool. Number one, I say I agree. Old school ways ain't working. Number two, I say where you're gonna have to get outside your comfort zone and do this. Oh, well, I ain't finna. Whoa. I don't want to hear that because I ain't asked you nothing. You asked me a question. I gave you an answer. You don't like my answer, baby. Don't ask me no question then. Because I was under the impression you asked me a question to get an answer because you didn't have one. But if you already know what you're not gonna do, figure out what to do then. You got it figured out. You see what I'm saying? Like I'm just at a point in my life that don't make no sense to me no more. And I used to be like that, so I had to eat that. I had to understand that if I ask somebody something,
Mhm.
I'm now at the will of their answer. And
Yes.
if I'm asking them something to get an answer, whether I like it or not, I gotta eat that. Dang, you right. Well, now I need to decide: do I want to go on social media today? Oh, I ain't finna do all that. Cool. Eat the fact that you may be alone for the rest of your life. Well, I ain't gonna do that neither. But baby, listen, your options is getting real thin at this point.
I want to say this though. The when you this is what I was going to say that I didn't get to say. What I say to younger girls and what I would say to my younger self about not wasting that time and not playing around and uh, dating with intention and spending that time working on myself, getting rooted and grounded in love. Um, I was going to say, don't I older people on here, y'all let me know because I could be wrong. The more time you spend with you when you starting to get older, I tell younger girls that ain't gonna get easier. To choose then to marry somebody to make that because at this point you done bought your house, you done a lot of living. You know what I'm saying? You got you settled in your job, you settled in your ways. eh, and somebody bringing somebody else in.
Also, let me say this too, and this is something that I feel like the church should teach. There, excuse me, there's biblical principles grounded in a lot of things that we do that people don't know. So if you're not putting that intentional time into developing yourself, you're not gonna attract people to you. There's a essence and an aura that everyone carries and has about them. You know how you can walk up to somebody and be like, I just don't get a good vibe about that person. You never met them, you don't really know. It's just something you kind of feel. It's like, yeah, something about you, I'm gonna stay away from you, right? We've all had that kind of thought about somebody at some point in life, right? You've never met somebody and you were like, something just don't feel right about this person. Have we all had that experience, or am I tripping?
Yeah, I have.
Okay, so you can't assume that you can have that about someone else and that same thing don't apply to you, right? So the person you trying to attract, you may have crossed them already, but you one of them people that's like, it's something about her don't sit well with me, right? Because you got to be willing to put yourself in the shoes that you put other people in, because we're all subjective to that, right? A lot of work that's needed internally, if that's not done, people don't want to be around you. Like whenever bears and peacocks and chickens and zebras and all these other animals get in heat, other animals come towards them. I've never seen a zebra come try to have sex with a dog when their dog was in heat. The dog attract other dogs, right? That
Mhm.
dog don't go around the neighborhood barking, hey, I'm in here, y'all come get some. It's something about that dog that gives off pheromones and senses to the other animal that, hey, it's time to get that little bit, right? We have to understand that that same thing is ingratiated into us, especially as believers. Bible says, let your light therefore shine before the world that other people can see. People know when you are of Christ. That is something that generates off of you. That is an essence, that is an aura that is felt, right? So a lot of these unfinished, untouched areas in your life is a reason you're not attracting who you want to attract, because don't nobody want to be around you. When you're house shopping, you can see from the road if that's the type of house you want. And they not even, I'm not even gonna go in there and entertain that house if I see the windows broke, the blinds got little stuff cracked on the outside, the driveway need mowing and cutting. That same principle that we apply to everything else is also applied to you as a human, because you do it to other things. So it's very important to be intentional with yourself, because the more intentional you get with yourself, the more people is going to be attracted to you, and then you have options. But if you know you've done no work on yourself, the only options you have is putting out a banner, hey, single, who wants some? But when you do work on yourself, you don't have to do that, because you may be in the grocery store, you may be at
That's
work,
true.
you may be going to the mailbox, and people will be drawn to you because you did work on yourself, and now people want to be around you. You may be somebody that somebody don't want to be around. Eat that though, right? You're only going to attract what you are. You're only going to attract things that you are based on where you put yourself. So if you stay in the house all day, you don't want to go on social media, you don't want to venture out to these social dating sites, you think you're going to find a man at the mailbox? The mailman may already be married, sweetheart. Like, we just gotta break it down to make it make sense. And this ain't nothing complex. These are things that we naturally do. The concepts and logic you use for house shopping, the concepts and logic you use when you're in a crowd of people where it may be 10 people and 3 of them just don't feel right, you can be that for the other person you think you're looking for, because you are not right for them. Eat that. And if when you start spending time on developing yourself, you will get so sidetracked and realize, if I find somebody, cool. If I don't, cool.
That's
Next
me.
thing you know, you got 10 options at your door. You don't know how they got there, but because you've been doing that work on yourself. But as long as you're projecting on someone else, oh, I'm waiting on this, I hope this happened, oh, I wonder when, it'll never happen like that. It just don't work like that. And I feel like we need to do a better job, especially as the church, at teaching those intangible forces that are very much present in our lives. And once you lock in and get intentional, people are going to then start either dropping off or respecting you. So when we look at women who've been engaged 10 to 12 times or for 10 to 12 years, baby, that man playing with you. Like, what is you say? Name one company that can run their business off of, we just gonna see what happened. Name one company that run their business off of, we gonna see what happened. They don't. They have business meetings. They have checks and balances. They have milestones. They have disciplinary actions. They have all these things in place, and these are Fortune 500 companies. Oh, well, I don't want to run my relationship like a business. How the relationship you running working then, sweetheart? These models are everywhere. You use these same logics everywhere. But when it comes to your relationship, oh, well, I ain't want to put pressure on nobody. Let me know how that worked for you, baby. Pressure is why people play with you. You don't want to put pressure on nobody. That's why you've been engaged 15 times. That's why you 63 and you a girlfriend.
Oh no.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I might lose him. Baby, you don't got him, clearly. You're not losing anything but your sanity, your time, will, emotions, your financial and emotional and spiritual stability has been out the window. So the least you can do is get yourself back. Get intentional. Lock in. Oh well, I'm scared if I say all that he might leave. Baby, he been gone. If that's the case, if you can't bring up a logical, business like where we going timeline, checks and balances conversation with him or her, you ain't got yourself nothing anyway. If your bank told you when you ask, hey, how much money I got in there? I don't know. We just been kind of let what happened happen this month. What you would do? What would you do with that bank account?
Mm.
If your job told you, I don't know where your check at, we'll just kind of figure it out and just kind of see where it goes. What would you do? If you went to the doctor and the doctor was like, they did all these checks on you, but what wrong, doc? I don't really know. We just gonna kind of play it by ear. Just come back and see me tomorrow. We gonna keep talking every day, but I ain't gonna never tell you what's going on. What would you do? The only place we put that irrational logic is in a relationship or in a marriage. Now, oh, I don't really know. We just gonna kind of play it. I ain't really want to put pressure on them. I don't just see where it goes. If you get in your car and go 65 mile per hour and get your hands off that wheel, where that car going?
Mm.
That logic don't work nowhere else, but we justify it in a relationship or in a marriage. If I
Mm.
can't have a hard conversation with my wife, baby, we don't need to be married.
Mm.
Why can't I talk to you about where your money going? Why can't I talk to you about why our bills ain't paid? Why can't we talk about how we're gonna raise this child? Why can't we talk about where we going? We just going to work every day, paying bills, coming home. I ain't really cool with that. What we doing? Oh, well, she ain't finna really talk about that. Well, baby, don't talk to me about nothing. We can have sex though. Oh, the sex is great. Body language top tier, but communication is in the negative.
Oh my God.
What?
Mm.
That's crazy to me. We don't apply that logic to nothing else but
But relationship.
relationships.
Mm.
That's crazy. Let your kids go to school and just do what they want. You gonna pull that bed off so fast,
I
they
know,
ain't
right?
gonna see it coming. Go to your job and just be like, when your boss be like, hey, what you got going on today? I don't really know. I'm just finna kind of wait 3 to 6 months and see where it go. No, that don't work nowhere else. But you've been using it in your dating life for years, and it ain't
Mm.
working there. But oh,
Mm.
we gonna it may work one day. Let me know how they go. It don't make sense. It just don't make sense to do because it don't make sense nowhere else. Go to the grocery store and just blindly walk down the aisle and grab stuff and see what you come up with. When you have tampons and some douches to eat tonight, you'll realize I might have should have made a list.
You is
You
so
can't eat no
mad.
tampon for lunch. You got mascara in the pot. You gonna look real foolish with a bottle of god doggone bleach in your skillet because you don't do that at the grocery store. You don't do
Yeah.
that at your job. You don't do
Mm-mm.
that at school. You don't do
Mm-mm.
that in your car. You don't
Yeah.
you don't do that nowhere else. You don't do it nowhere. You don't do that nowhere else. But in a relationship, oh, we just gonna kind of play it by ear. But the sex good though. That's foolish.
Mm.
And then we 50, 60, 70 now. I don't know what happened. Nothing happened. You happened. I don't know how I got here. You do. You definitely do.
Oh my God.
But I bet you had that job for a couple years. Why? because there's structure there.
Yeah.
There's business meetings there. There's disciplinary actions there.
Yes.
There's checks and balances there. That if, hey, in the next 3 months, if you don't get it together, you gone there. There's
Mm.
badge in, badge out there. There's let me run that badge report there.
Mm.
There's be here by 8 o'clock there.
Mm-hmm. Responsibility.
There's responsibility, accountability,
Mm-hmm.
intentionality.
Yes.
Your life, your family, your relationships, everything should be ran exactly like a business. Your friendships should be ran like a business. Listen, I told one of my friends yesterday. I said, listen. Matter of fact, my sister. I said, listen, because she had a situation and her credit score with me went down because of the situation. She came back and said, hey, I need to talk to you. I said, about what? She said, I need you to do these things for me. I said, hold on, let me make sure I ain't tripping. You want me to do this, 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 and this? She was like, yeah. I said, well, listen, we did that last time and it didn't work. So I need you to come up with 3 items of collateral that you can offer me, and then I'm going to get with my business partner, my wife, and we'll discuss your 3 items. And we're going to come up with 3 items. And we're going to see if those 3 items have enough credit to allow us to do for you what you're requesting of us. Because we made an investment in you last time and wasted our time, energy, and resources. And you went back to that toxic situation. And we're not in the business of
Mm.
making bad investments.
Oh
Do
wow.
you understand? She said, yeah, that make perfect sense. I said, no, go on. When she
Wow.
left, I said, hey, what is 3 things that she can do so that we'll then comply to what she want us to do now or need us to do? My wife said, to keep it a buck with you, it really ain't nothing she can do. I said, cool. I said, I'll still come up with 3. I'll present those 3 to you. And if you don't like those 3, she got to go and find it somewhere else.
Oh wow.
Respect me. You're not finna run through my time, energy, and resources. Think you just finna keep cycling back through? No. I told one of my homeboys earlier. Him and one of my other homeboys was
Wow.
getting into it about something. I said, hey, I said, is this the same conversation we had 2 weeks ago? I said, hey, you don't have to respond to him. And you got 2 more time to bring this same thing up again. I'm cutting you off.
Wow.
You think I'm finna keep having the same conversation with you about the same thing? Try that at work and see what happens. First time it's a verbal. I
Wow.
mean, an ECL. Second time it's a verbal. Third time it's a written. Fourth time you up for separation.
Oh my
What
goodness.
are you saying to me? Cause running my life outside of it got me traumatized,
Mm.
depressed, anxiety, stressed, emotionally damaged, overextending myself,
Oh wow.
burnt out, mental drain. I'm acting outside of my character, try to give you, cause I want to fix you. No.
You can't fix
Here's my
anybody.
guidelines. Here's my terms and conditions. Here's my policy. Here's your application. Do you want to work here or not?
Oh my goodness. Oh Lord mercy.
Baby, they go for my mama, my
Your mama?
auntie, my
Your
son,
auntie?
my wife, my great 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 grandma's tombstone. Baby, everybody get these conditions because
What I
my
say your
life
mama?
has been so. Do I need to tag her?
He said, "Do I need to tag?" No, that's all
I'm
right, bro.
not
You ain't got to tag
playing.
that. You don't got to tag.
I'm not playing with people now. Cause I've been through that phase.
Oh
And
my
once I
god.
realized it don't work, I'm not finna keep cycling through this.
Mm.
And now here's the thing. The same thing I'm saying about everybody else, do that to me. Don't let me keep using you. Don't let me keep exhausting your Give me a coaching first. Give me a verbal. Give me a written. And then put me up for separation. If I keep doing the same thing to you 4 times, get rid of me. I'm a liability, baby. So I'm not telling you some I uphold that I don't expect you to do for me. I don't even hang with people that don't check me because I'm subject to get out of order just like everybody else is. But I'm also subject to keep that same order too. Run me mine. Treat everything like a biz. My son, every time we go out of, every time we go, every time we leave the house, he want fast food. Cool. Hey, it's some trash up here. I'm up here working on this house. Come pick the trash up. Why I got whoa ho ho partner. First of all, watch your tone because I'll punch you in the chest. That's number one. Number two, you think that you are now of age and able to contribute not only to this household but to society, and you're going to spend thousands of dollars in fast food, and you don't want to pick up trash in a house that I'm building for you, boy, you done lost your my. I said, come here. I said, here's the thing. Your only job is to go to school and make good grades. I said, as long as you do that, you then have access to ask for things, and I have no hesitation with buying you nothing. We ain't gotta wait to income tax. We ain't gotta wait to Christmas. If you want some, I'm gonna go get it as long as you are doing what you're supposed to do. When you don't do good at school, I don't care if it's your birthday and Christmas in the same day, you're not getting nothing from me.
Mm.
Because as an adult, we don't get to do that in our life. If we're not
Yeah.
performing on our jobs, what happened?
Yeah.
You get fired. You
Yeah.
don't get rewarded for not upholding what you're supposed to uphold. And that's why these kids are in the shape that they're in,
Oh my
because
God.
people don't uphold them to the level that they're
Mm.
going to have to be on when they become adults. So we raise them all the way from children all the way up to make them think that, oh, you can just, because you woke up and you breathing, I'm just going to give you stuff. No, you don't get stuff from breathing as an adult. We're raising them
That's
to
quite
be
right.
adults. They're
Yeah.
not going to be kids forever. They have more time as an adult than they will as kids. And then you wonder why you get in a relationship with people who don't know how to take accountability because they were never taught, who don't know
Oh
how to
my
be
God.
responsible because they were never taught, who feel offended when you hold them accountable for not meeting deadlines. That's why you can't apply pressure to people in relationships because they were never taught as a
Oh my
child how to be
God.
applied pressure to.
Oh my God. Now you done
So
said a
you're
mouthful.
dating children.
Oh my God. Whew, this was been good, but it's 7, so we're gonna have to bring you back. We're gonna have to bring you back. It just ain't enough time.
So listen,
we
my immediate recommendation is if
mm,
you're in a marriage or a relationship or dating right now,
mm,
make sure you're using the time you're spending as a metric. If I give my wife 2 hours of uninterrupted time, I need 2 hours too. And if I can't give her two and me two, I either need to cut down on hers or cut down on mine. Because if I'm not working on me, what am I even giving her?
that's true.
What am I giving her? If I'm only
That's
for
true.
all year, I don't spend 1,000 hours with undeniable time to my wife and spent no time with myself. What am I really giving her? I'm
I
giving her
definitely
a
set that up,
underdeveloped
Kendra.
version of me.
Mm. We
That's
we're
just
gonna have
what
to
it
bring.
like. Use it as a metric, and you will then start weeding out. Like your husband or wife may be like, "Oh, you think you better than me?" No, no, no. I just want to be a better me.
Mm.
It's not that I think I'm better than you. You should mimic me.
Yeah, you should want a better that person.
And if
Yeah,
you and
version of
if
that
me
person.
developing myself offends you, you're not the
No.
one for me.
Right. Right. Mm.
I don't care if we've been married 15 years. If you get offended because I've been reading this goddamn book for 2 hours, we got a bigger problem anyway.
You gonna have to pray us out, brother.
Woo.
It's 7 o'clock. I gotta go. This has been good. We're gonna bring you back when we're gonna have to bring you back. Kendra, I definitely, I'm gonna hook it up when you on, because my friend, my bestie said you're gonna have to let BB on when he on. And so we definitely going. You want to pray us out? I want to first of all let me say thank you to everyone who hopped on. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for tagging. Thank you for sharing. I pray that you guys got something out of this. The brother was speaking in general to the
Oh yeah,
audience.
yeah, yeah. I'm just speaking in
He
general.
wasn't speaking to anybody
No, 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 no.
directly. So I just want to clear that up. You want
No,
to pray
no,
us
no.
off?
Oh yeah. Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you for this day. We thank you for this opportunity to come and share. We know you say your word will never go out and come back void. And I just want to inform people that just because you don't hear a thou shall not and they do thee, it doesn't mean the principles behind by which the words that are being communicated is not of God and from God. So, Lord, I pray that whether this video is currently live or they watching it 2 or 3 years from now, the principles and the essence of the message by which have been spoken today, not only for myself, but for my sister here, and even anything that is correlative to their life in the comments, can also be utilized for your glory, your honor, and your purpose, Lord. And we pray that this message continues to generate productive, positive outcomes in the lives and be revealing to anyone that it needs to be revealing to. Touch the heart, minds, and souls of every individual under the sound of my voice. And it's in your son, Jesus' name, we pray.
Amen.
Amen.
Thank you, brother. We'll have to bring you back. Love you. Thank you,
Anytime, anytime,
everyone.
anytime.
Have a blessed evening.